I'm Tamara, 34, and I was rooted to the spot at my sister Vivian's engagement dinner when her fiancé, Ryan, publicly confronted me. Vivian had just belittled my career as a family court judge, sneering that I was a failed lawyer who judged others' families because I couldn't have my own. In that heart-stopping moment, Ryan stood up and declared, "You're the judge here tonight. Tell everyone what really happened 6 years ago." The room fell deathly silent, and the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. I knew the long, buried secret about Vivian's past was about to explode. As I stand here, the weight of the past crashes down on me. I can't help but look back at how our family dynamics have shaped my life. Growing up in a middle-class neighborhood in a small town, I was the diligent one. At 16, I was the straight, a student, always following the rules, eager to make my parents proud. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, were hard working but had a blind spot when it came to Vivian, who was 2 years younger than me. Vivian was the free spirit. She was charming, with a smile that could light up a room, but she was also rebellious. She skipped classes, came home past curfew, and always managed to talk her way out of trouble. My mother would say, "Vivian's just exploring," and my father would add, "She'll find her way." Meanwhile, if I got a B on a test, I'd face hours of lectures about living up to my potential. I was determined to make something of myself. I worked 2 part-time jobs during college to pay for my tuition, while my parents saved money for Vivian, thinking she might need it more. Law school was my dream, and I threw myself into my studies. I graduated near the top of my class, passed the bar on my first try, and landed a job at a well-respected law firm. But at family gatherings, my achievements always took a back seat to Vivian's latest escapades. She'd borrow money from me with no intention of repaying it, and she'd flirt with the men I dated. Once, she even applied for a job I was interviewing for, claiming she didn't know. I always forgave her, thinking that's what sisters do. My decision to become a family court judge wasn't part of my original plan. I was working in family law when I encountered a case of a young boy caught in a custody battle between abusive parents. It changed my perspective, and I realized I wanted to be in a position to protect children like him. When a judgeship opened up, I applied and became one of the youngest family court judges in our state at 30. Vivian's reaction was a mix of feigned congratulations and hidden jealousy. "So, you're going to sit there and judge other people's families? How perfect for you, Miss Goody. 2 shoes," she'd say with a laugh that didn't reach her eyes. After that, at every family event, she'd find ways to mock my career. "Did you ruin any families today, Judge?" she'd ask over dinner. What she didn't know, what none of them knew, was that her words cut deep because of what happened 6 years ago. That was when I lost my chance to have children of my own. 6 years ago, I was 28, working at the law firm and dating a wonderful man named Daniel. Vivian was 26, living a wild life, partying every night and dating a string of unreliable men. I started hearing rumors about her drug use and wild parties, but whenever I tried to talk to her, she'd accuse me of being jealous. Then, one fateful night at 2 a.m., my phone rang. It was Vivian, her voice slurred and panicked. "I need help. I'm at the Rose Motel, room 203. Don't tell Mom and Dad," she pleaded before hanging up. I woke Daniel, and we rushed to the motel. It was in a seedy part of town, and I was terrified of what we'd find. When we entered room 203, the sight that greeted us was horrifying. Vivian's face was bruised, and the room was a mess. There were empty bottles and the smell of drugs in the air. But the most shocking thing was the little girl, about 3 years old, huddled on the bed, looking at us with big, frightened eyes. "Whose child is that?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Vivian started sobbing. "She's mine. I didn't tell anyone I was pregnant. I tried to give her up for adoption, but I just couldn't. I've been trying to take care of her, but I'm not good at it." Daniel, who had some medical training, examined the little girl, Lily. He said, "Tamara, she's malnourished and sick. She needs to go to the hospital right away." Looking at Vivian, it was clear she was in no condition to take care of herself, let alone a child. We took them both to the emergency room. Lily was severely malnourished, with an untreated ear infection. Vivian tested positive for multiple drugs and was admitted for observation. Child Protective Services was called. When the social worker mentioned foster care for Lily, I couldn't bear it. She was my niece, my blood. I said, I'll take her. I'll take temporary custody while Vivian gets help. The next few days were a blur of paperwork and court appearances. Daniel was supportive, but our relationship started to strain under the new responsibility. My parents were shocked when I told them, more by Vivian's drug use than by the existence of Lily. They offered to take Lily, but I was worried they wouldn't set the necessary boundaries for Vivian. Over the next several months, as Vivian went through rehab, I became a mother figure to Lily. It wasn't easy. Lily had nightmares, was wary of adults, and threw tantrums. But with patience, love, and the help of child psychologists, she started to trust me. I fell in love with her completely. However, 6 months into this new life, disaster struck. I developed severe abdominal pain and was rushed to the hospital. I had a ruptured appendix, and the subsequent infection led to complications in my reproductive system. The doctors were gentle but firm. I would never be able to have children of my own. At the time, all I could think about was getting back to Lily. 8 months after that terrible night at the motel, Vivian returned, looking healthy and with a new boyfriend, a wealthy businessman named Henry. She announced, I'm ready to be a mom now. Henry and I are getting a big house and he loves kids. We're taking Lily. I tried to reason with her. Lily has been through a lot. She's stable now. A sudden change isn't good for her. But Vivian was stubborn. She's my daughter. I made mistakes, but I'm better now. I have the right to raise her. I knew that legally, as Lily's mother, Vivian had a strong case. And Henry mentioned hiring expensive lawyers. So, I did what I thought was right. I worked with them to transition Lily back to Vivian's care, making her promise to put Lily's needs first. The day Vivian took Lily away was the worst day of my life. Lily clung to me, crying, Aunt Tamara, don't let me go. I held her tight, promising to see her soon. But as they drove away, I felt a part of me die. After that, Vivian and Henry moved across the country. At first, she sent occasional updates and allowed me to chat with Lily, but then the contact became less and less frequent. Eventually, it stopped altogether. When I tried to reach out, she'd send short texts saying they were busy. The loss of Lily made me reevaluate my career. I saw the flaws in the family court system and wanted to be part of the solution. When a judgeship opened up, I applied and got the position. I kept the story of Lily and what happened a secret, partly to protect Vivian, partly to protect Lily, and partly to protect myself from the pain. Back at the engagement dinner, Ryan's challenge hangs in the air. Vivian is the first to break the silence, her voice high, pitched with panic. Ryan, I don't know what you think you know, but this isn't the time or place. Ryan's voice is gentle but firm.
When then?
After we're married, and you've spun another web of lies.
He turns to me.
Tamara, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I found some old case files at work last week. Cases involving your sister. I've tried to talk to her privately, but she denies everything. Vivian stands up so abruptly that her chair falls backward. You had no right to go through those files. It's confidential information. Ryan replies calmly, I was researching a similar case and recognized her name. Once I read it, I couldn't ignore it. My mother looks at us in confusion. What files? What's he talking about, Vivian? Vivian ignores her and turns her fury on me. This is your fault. You're jealous of me, and you're trying to ruin my happiness. After years of silence, years of taking her abuse, something inside me snaps. My fault? Vivian, I've kept your secrets for 6 years. I've let you mock me, knowing why I can't have children. I've done everything to protect you, and this is how you repay me. My father warns me, whatever this is, we don't need to air our dirty laundry in front of guests. I laugh bitterly. Of course not. Heaven forbid we ever face the truth in this family. I look at Ryan, who nods encouragingly, and then I take a deep breath and tell the whole truth. The late night call, finding Vivian in that state with Lily, taking care of Lily, the surgery that cost me my chance at motherhood, and Vivian taking Lily away and cutting off contact. The silence that follows is deafening. My mother is the first to speak, her voice trembling. "You had a baby? We have a granddaughter we've never met." Vivian insists. "It wasn't like that." Tamara is making it sound worse. Ryan then reveals that according to the records he found, Vivian abandoned Lily again less than a year after taking her from me. When things didn't work out with Henry, she left Lily with him, and he eventually had to contact social services because he had no legal standing. Lily ended up in foster care.
I'm shocked.
"Vivian, how could you?" "I would have taken her back in a heartbeat," Vivian admits. "I was in a bad place again. I thought she'd be better off with Henry." My parents are in shock, and the room is in chaos. Ryan moves to sit beside me and says softly, "I'm sorry to ambush you like this. I just couldn't marry her without knowing the truth." I nod, still trying to process everything. I know I have to find Lily and make sure she's okay. The next day, I call in sick to work. I meet Ryan at a quiet coffee shop. He tells me he has a contact in Child Protective Services who owes him a favor and will look into Lily's case. He also says he's not sure what will happen with his relationship with Vivian, as he can't trust her anymore. I tell him I'm prepared for whatever we find. If Lily is in a good home, I won't disrupt her life, but if she's still in the system, I'll do whatever it takes to get custody of her. A few days later, Ryan's contact finds out that Lily is still in the foster system. She's been moved between several homes in the past 6 years and is currently with a foster mother named Mrs. Green, who specializes in children with emotional and behavioral issues. I drive to Mrs. Green's house. When I meet Lily, she's a cautious 9-year-old. She looks at me with suspicion, but also a glimmer of recognition. "Aunt Tamara? You used to sing to me," she says softly. I'm overcome with emotion. "I'm so sorry, Lily. I never stopped thinking about you, or loving you." She's hesitant, but agrees to let me visit her. Over the next few weeks, I establish a routine of visiting Lily. I rearrange my court schedule to spend more time with her. Meanwhile, I work with Ryan to build a case for custody. We know that my previous temporary custody of Lily, my stable career, and the bond I'm rebuilding with her are in my favor. The day I file the custody petition is both terrifying and liberating. I'm finally standing up for myself and for Lily. As expected, Vivian retaliates. She calls our parents, telling them I'm trying to steal her daughter. She sends me threatening texts and even contacts my supervisors at the courthouse, claiming I'm abusing my position.
But I don't let her deter me.
With Ryan's support and Mrs. Green's guidance, I stay focused on getting Lily the stable, loving home she deserves. The court hearing arrives. I sit beside my attorney, and Ryan sits behind me for support. Vivian arrives with her expensive lawyer, and my parents sit behind her, looking torn. The hearing begins. My attorney presents our case methodically, highlighting my stability, my bond with Lily, and Vivian's history of abandonment. Mrs. Green testifies about Lily's progress since our reconnection, and Ryan testifies about his discovery of Vivian's actions. Vivian takes the stand and tries to paint a picture of a changed woman. But the evidence against her is overwhelming. Her story becomes more and more convoluted as she tries to explain away her neglect. Lily's therapist testifies that separating Lily from me now would be extremely harmful to her emotional development. After a brief recess, the judge returns with her ruling. The judge states that given Vivian's pattern of abandonment and my consistent commitment to Lily's well-being, full legal and physical custody of Lily will be granted to me. She also orders Vivian to repay the child support money she received from Henry during the time Lily was not in her care. The relief I feel is indescribable. Lily will be mine. Vivian storms out of the courtroom without a word, and my parents approach me hesitantly. "Congratulations, Tamara. We hope this is for the best," my father says awkwardly. In the months that follow, Lily moves in with me. It's not easy. She has nightmares and tests my patience, but with love and support, she starts to heal. My career takes a back seat as I focus on being the mother Lily needs. Vivian files appeal after appeal, but each one is dismissed. Eventually, she gives up and signs away her parental rights. Lily and I start a new life together, a life based on love and stability, and I know that I've finally done the right thing.